Oh. Oh my gosh, we stumbled into the next part of the story. But yes, let's continue. Let's continue.
Hey, Navia, we're here.
Navia, hello.
Whoa. Check out all these people.
Paimon, keep it
there.
down.
Are you Navia's friends too?
I don't think so.
These are the people who have had recent dealings at the Marechaussee Phantom. They're usually hidden in the Fleuve Cendre, but I sent for someone to invite them over.
All right.
Invite them over.
Exactly. Now, I heard there's great coffee here, and so I asked them if they'd like to come and have some.
Are these Navia's men just like glowering down at them?
It's our pleasure to be guests of the Spina di Rosula.
I've wanted to have a meetup like this for ages.
Something feels off, but oh well. Let's get back to business. Is there anyone called Essan here?
Yes, that's me.
Your Essa?
Sorry, I made that noise because I thought he literally just ran away.
Yes, Monsieur Neuvillette.
Did you write that threatening letter to Kiara?
Did you? Did you or did you not?
I did, but I was just following orders.
Whoa!
Orders from whom?
Domenico, he was my boss. I couldn't disobey his orders.
Domenico. Where is he now?
The fortress of Meropide.
Oh.
Well, I'm afraid even the Spina would have trouble looking into that place. Looks like you'll have to make the trip yourselves.
Huh?
This was as much as
Risley?
I'm extremely grateful for your help.
Leave the formalities for later. You should find Domenico first. If he really is the one setting up the conspiracy, it'd be best if he's exposed as soon as possible.
All right then, let's head to the fortress right now.
I agree, let's go. Unfinished comedy? Continue current quest, thank you. Let's go. What? No, I don't want Fishnado. I want In a New Light. Good, good, good. Let's go to this teleport waypoint. Administrative area. I'm so excited to see Risley. Risley's grown on me so much. I love his English voice actor. Is it weird to say that I love Fontaine dub? I love Fontaine dub. I love the dub of Fontaine. That's such a weird thing to say. I just, wow, the English voice actors for Fontaine freaking knock it out of the park. I love Neuvillette's English VA. I love Risley's. Also, it's really late for you, Ryder. Oh my gosh!
Welcome to the Fortress of Meropide, dear esteemed guests.
We're back! Oh, and a greeting from none other than the Duke himself! Guess we made a name for ourselves in this place.
This isn't anything new. I figured you had important matters to discuss when the two of you, not to mention the Chief Justice, showed up. Let's assume we've gone through the pleasantries and cut right to the chase. I do remember a thing or two about Domenico. He once attempted to round up the other inmates and instigate a protest.
Who does this guy think he is? Paimon hopes nothing came of it.
He once attempted to, I said, meaning that it was over before it even started. And now he's threatening Melazines, is he?
The way he says it so lightly. It feels weirdly sinister.
To be honest, Domenico doesn't seem like much of a conspirator. The fact that the three of you bothered to personally investigate raises a flag. Is there something else going on behind the scenes here?
How shrewd.
He's got the same concerns we do.
I am concerned about this incident because something similar has occurred in the past. I wish to meet Domenico in person and have my questions answered.
That's an easy one. Let me think. I think he's at...
Did I hear someone say Melusine? What happened?
Oh, Sejuin.
Sejuin!
A Melusine named Kiara received a threatening letter.
Yeah, and we're investigating. The person who threatened her seems to be imprisoned here. Really? Is Kiara gonna be okay?
There's no need to worry. Clarande is protecting her as we speak.
Well, that's great. But if the criminal's still...
Ah, head nurse. Do you require me to personally deal with the criminal?
Yes.
Wriothesley.
What's wrong? Oh, Neuvillette. Come on, let Wriothesley have his fun.
Okay, I get it. I'll bring Domenico to you. That's your only demand, correct?
Think of it as more of a humble request. I'm here on my own accord, not to formally transfer a criminal for trial. I urge you to set aside any concerns. Thanks for the trouble. Consider me in your debt.
Whoa! If Paimon were you here, Grace, Paimon would take this chance to ask for something really important.
Well, were I still a criminal, I'd probably ask for a lighter sentence. But I'm sure Monsieur Neuvillette would reject that. But enough jokes. I'll look for Domenico and bring him to you. Make yourselves at home. Our dear head nurse has mentioned you quite a few times, so I'm sure she has a lot to say.
Please come with me to the infirmary.
Yes, I'm going to... I think infirmary is best... it's best to... This is the best way to get there, I think.
Pretty dark areas, so make sure you don't trip over anything.
Sejuin is so cute. She's so cute and so smart. A little bit sneaky.
Now that I think about it, I can leave this place soon.
I love seeing people's reactions to Neuvillette. Hold on. Well, it's okay. We're probably not gonna get any more, but that is so fun.
Please rest here for a moment.
Yeah, for a second I was thinking of running to
and would
other
anyone like anything to
NPCs to
drink?
see what they'll say about Neuvillette.
Paimon's not that thirsty, but thanks anyway. Thirst is a warning sign that you're dehydrated, which means you have to drink up even before that.
Really? Oh,
I'll bring you some tea. I'm sure you'll have a lot to talk about.
I see.
Typical Sejuin. Concerned about everyone's health as always. Why aren't you two saying anything?
The criminals we passed by earlier.
You noticed them too. The badges they wore on their chests looked quite familiar.
Really?
Familiar? Paimon didn't even realize they were wearing them. But if both of you say so, let's go ask them about it.
You know what? Yeah, Paimon and I will go.
That's
We
not
were
a bad
recently
idea.
criminals.
I will stay here and wait for news from you.
In fact, we are still criminals. I don't think our sentence is over yet, so they won't suspect a thing. Oh, Neuvillette.
I place great trust in Wriothesley, so I rarely visit the fortress of Meripede. However, exceptional circumstances call for exceptional measures. I hope I didn't cause him too much trouble.
Oh. Oh, other way.
Anything you need?
What is that biouch?
Oh, this? Are you interested in joining the Mutual Aid Network?
Mutual aid?
What's that?
We have a very long history, going back as far as 400 years ago. We have never had many members throughout our history, nor do we have much of a reputation, but everyone treats each other like family.
That's sus.
Helping each other is our purpose. At the same time, we seek to maintain just dealings as much as possible.
Sounds like a pretty neat organization.
All we want is to defend ourselves. None of us have ever committed serious crimes, and we're not especially powerful either. We're at a natural disadvantage here in the fortress, but people won't give us a hard time if we stick together.
Interesting. I mean, I guess it makes sense that something like that exists.
Interested in joining the mutual aid network? If you'd like to learn more, here's our flyer.
Help each other, do all you can to further justice, do not detest just judgment. The above are the 3 principles of the Mutual Aid Network. All are welcome to join and the membership is free. There are no compulsory group events. The Mutual Aid Network encourages members to do what they are able, including, but not limited to, cleaning, exercising, tutoring, and studying. It is hoped that all Mutual Aid Network members will, during their time in the Fortress of Meropide, face up to the crimes they have committed, encourage each other, support each other, and welcome the future together. This sounds good on paper.
Our slogan may have evolved over the centuries, but our goal has remained unchanged. Here, this book is for you. You're welcome to come and sign up anytime.
Like, it sounds good on paper, but I feel like a lot of, like, sinister groups sound good on paper until you get more involved.
You two look kind of familiar. It's the symbol of the Mutual Aid Network designed by our first president. From what I've heard, it's based on something called a Medal of Peace. I've never seen one of those medals for myself.
Oh, Medal of Peace.
The first president of our network was an amazing person. Powerful as he was, he never used his strength against
Yeah,
anyone.
it makes sense that he would leave a legacy even in the fortress. Oh.
All of us have a lot of respect for him.
Oh, it hurts.
Should have gathered enough information. Let's head back and talk to Neuvillette.
This will just make him sadder, but maybe happier a little bit as well. Oh.
Did you manage to gather any intel?
Yeah, we did. Get ready to cry, Neuvillette. It's probably raining outside.
belong to an organization called the Mutual Aid Network.
Get ready to rain.
Then the badge's design was inspired by the Medal of Peace. Have you seen any of those before?
Yeah, Neuvillette depression speedrun. Oh.
I personally crafted 2 of them myself. They were awarded to Carol and Vautrin. Carol's medal was destroyed in a fire. The only one that remained should belong to Vautrin.
Oh, so the network was inspired by... Monsieur Neuvillette, His Grace has requested your presence in his office. He's found Domenico.
All right. Let us
No.
talk to him first.
Neuvillette, we were going to tell you important information. Neuvillette! Well, it's okay. Maybe it's better for him to be sad later. Oh no. We'll tell him soon. We'll tell him soon. Where is the opening?
Quite following me.
Ah, we went in a complete circle. Oopsie.
Allow me to introduce this fine gentleman, Domenico.
The sigh before fine gentleman.
Why don't you explain everything to him?
Neuvillette? What do you want? What are you gonna do? Kill me?
Calm down. I merely want to ask you a few questions.
Yeah, you've clearly done something wrong if you think the first thing Neuvillette wants to do to you is to kill you.
Was it your idea to send that letter to a Melusine? Assin has already confessed, so there really isn't any need to keep hiding.
That idiot! I can't believe I trusted him.
Let me ask this another way. It was your idea to send that letter, correct?
I love that the English dub, he says, let me ask this another way. And it's just the same sentence, but more aggressive.
Yes.
Who is pulling your strings?
What? You're not trying to frame me for something I haven't done, are you?
It's best if you realize the gravity of your situation. The Chief Justice of Fontaine has been personally investigating your case. I assume your previous attempt to incite unrest at the Fortress of Meripede has something to do with this as well.
I admit I acted on impulse. I'll tell you the truth. But before that, you must ensure my safety.
I can do that.
You see, we're all reasonable people here.
I only intended to do some small business at first. Someone contacted me about delivering some goods and promised me a generous sum of more in return. After making a few trips, I was suddenly approached by the Marechaussee Phantom. They accused me of smuggling prohibited items, and I was put on trial. But I refuse to accept any of that. The ignorant can be rightfully absolved from guilt, right? Well, I suspect that someone got me locked up here so they could get their hands on my goods.
And then you decided to take revenge on the Melazines? Over that?
Ignorance is not an
My
excuse,
initial
by
target
the
was
way.
Neuvillette. Everyone in the Fortress of Meripede was declared guilty by him after all. So they must more or less hold a grudge against him, right? If I could get them to strike back. But for some reason, no one wanted to team up with me. That mutual aid network in particular. What did those nobodies even gain from trying to challenge me? Seriously. In the end, I had to redirect my focus onto Melazines to salvage things.
What? To salvage things?
I recall that Kiara was the one who confiscated my goods for inspection. So I asked one of the more approachable guards to send a letter, claiming that I meant to contact my family. But the letter was in fact addressed to Essa. I requested that he write a threat letter to Kiara and force her to resign from the Marechaussee Phantom.
Am I to assume that the claims you've made are your own thoughts? Have you been in contact with any suspicious people recently?
No.
Is it true that all members involved in the smuggling scandal have been caught?
Yes. And that's all I know.
Ryder. Well, he's already exiled. What's the worst that they can do to him?
Sijuin, please take him back to the detention center. I'll deal with him later.
There's a detention center.
So, Monsieur Neuvillette, you were concerned that there might be a shadowy faction looking to capitalize on the delicate situation with the Melazines to stir up greater chaos?
Yeah, seems like it was just one guy though.
Yes. I experienced a similar incident in the past, so I had to be prepared for any possibility.
And how long ago was this incident?
More than 400 years.
Oh!
You might be overthinking this.
Risley, the way he says this in such a straightforward way, like, you might be overthinking this.
Time can change a lot of things. Everything's different now.
What do you mean?
400 years is so long. That's such a long time, Neuvillette. That's such a long time. Like, the United States is only like a little... It's only a little older than 100 years, right? But yeah, the formation of the United States.
400 years ago, you and the Melazines you brought to Fontaine were the outliers in society.
400 years is so long.
But in the present day, if someone were to threaten the safety of the Melazines, people wouldn't just sit back and do nothing. I trust that they would make different choices from before.
That's right! We saw lots of people standing up for Melazines on our way back to the Palais Mermonia.
Monsieur Neuvillette, the Melazines are a species you introduced to Fontaine. How the public treats them is also reflective of their attitude towards you. When people refused to place their trust in Melazines, it was because they were still on the fence about you, their unfamiliar Chief Justice. For almost 500 years, you've conducted every trial with impartiality. You made the right judgment each time, regardless of whatever nonsense went on.
Oh. Oh. Oh, Risley.
People no longer have any reservations about you and even consider you a symbol of the law. Right now, your every decision will impact all of Fontaine. In other words, you've gradually transformed the whole nation.
Paimon gets it now. No wonder no one wanted to join forces with Domenico.
Tragedies like that won't happen
I am
anymore.
undeserving of such high compliments. From my perspective, I have simply been fulfilling my duties. It isn't anything special or worthy of praise. I'm simply fulfilling the promises I've made and searching for answers through my judgments.
Aww, Neuvillette.
It is unnecessary to hold me in such high regard. The complexity of human emotions and willpower far exceed those of mine. As a matter of fact, I believe that you are the ones who deserve my respect.
I'm thinking. I think a lot of times when I see immortals or people who live a very long time in media, a lot of times, like, what I see is, like, just the whole, like, they have a hard time moving on from their past, or they have a hard time making new friends and relationships because of heartbreak, or it's like, or they become, like, callous because time doesn't matter to them and, like, all that kind of stuff. But this is maybe one of the few times where I've seen a really long-lived species, or like an immortal, I guess, like, struggle to understand that people think differently of them now. If that makes sense. Like, I feel like they're stuck in the past in the sense that to this day they still feel like an outsider, and they are still convinced they're bad at reading emotions, even though it's been 400 years. And I feel like Neuvillette's amazing at reading emotions. But it's like every single time someone mentions something about him being too serious, or him, like, not getting the joke, in his brain that reinforces the idea that he's an outsider and that he doesn't understand humans. But I think neither of those are true. Neuvillette's just such an interesting character. They did a great job writing this guy. It's a perspective that I don't really see about long-lived characters, so it's very fun. Very, very fun. Also, give me just a moment. I'm gonna adjust something. All right, I'm back. Let me also just, yeah, get a little sip of water. But yeah, I think it's very interesting. I love the way Neuvillette's written.
There's no need to be so modest. The current state of affairs says it all. You're no longer that outsider you were before. Even if you wished to investigate something on your own, many would take the initiative to lend you a hand.
I must say that you've made a fair point. Thank you for clearing my doubts. Now that the case has been settled, I should get going.
Huh? You're leaving?
And so soon, too? Why not stay for a cup of tea?
Oh, wait, stay for tea. Risley doesn't get much guests. Come on. You want to spend time with Risley. Now that I think about it, Risley asks everyone for tea. He's like, don't you want to stay and hang out for a bit? This guy's kind of lonely. He's down here. He's got Stitchwing for company, but it's just the two of them, kinda.
Thank you for the offer, but I know how this place works all too well.
What do you mean?
While some are here to redeem themselves, there will inevitably be those who harbor resentment towards me. The less time I spend here, the better. My presence could very well result in an unwanted disturbance.
Oh, Neuvillette.
In that case, I'll have to insist. I still have 2 more things to say.
Please, go ahead.
The first is about the guard who helped Domenico send that letter.
Ah, I know of what you speak. The guard was indeed deployed from the Palais Memornia's staff. However, as I mentioned earlier, I visited today on personal business. Therefore, I leave that matter in your hands.
Well, that makes things a lot easier.
Risey's like, I'm gonna get him.
Hey now, don't let your imagination run wild. Those from up there have a tendency to sympathize with others. However, down here, such thoughts will put you at high risk. I'll have a chat with the guard and remind him to take precautions in the future.
I see no issues with that.
Great! That's one thing out of the way. What's the other thing you wanted to say?
The other thing was born from my own sense of curiosity. Now, I've heard that you investigated the mutual aid network. Is that right?
I agree. I think the three Ryder. I agree, Ryder. I think Risley, Neuvillette, and Sigewinne should all have tea parties more often. So true.
I noticed the small gang as well when I first took over the Fortress of Meripede. They were not great in number, but every member always made sure to stand up for what was right. I've looked into their founder, Vautrin, who once stood trial and was sentenced to imprisonment in the fortress. According to existing documentation, Vautrin remained disciplined throughout his imprisonment. He had never once engaged in physical or verbal aggression. In other words, how he presented himself in prison was very different from his behavior in court.
What?
Hmm? Didn't he hate Neuvillette?
During his trial, I could sense that his feelings were complicated. He appeared to be full of resentment, and I believe he had every right to feel that way.
Perhaps he had been putting on an act.
An act?
Neuvillette and Vautrin had a close relationship as superior and subordinate. Vautrin must have known that the Chief Justice would make an impartial judgment. Thus, the more resentment he displayed, the clearer it would be to those present that you were upholding justice.
Oh.
And to those who had been sitting on the fence, Vautrin's act was a very meaningful one. That's all from me. Does anyone else have anything to say?
Risley, you share. Risley has not been in on any of this. He shared that because he knew that would ease. Risley shared that because he knew that would ease Neuvillette's heart a little bit. Risley, you are a good guy. Hi, Con. It's going good. I'm so fond of these characters. I'm in danger.
Well, then, let us head back. No need to see us off.
It's over for me. No, stay for
Please,
tea.
Take care.
No, please take care. Ah, stay for tea. Do it. Ah, no, we left him. Risley. Oh, no one ever stays for tea with him.
That trial is something I rarely bring up in conversation, but I have always felt deep regret for what happened to both Carol and Vautrin. The words he spoke in court often replay in my mind, as if urging me on to do something.
Aww.
But Risley said he never resented you, right? Isn't that a good thing?
I believe I now understand what he wanted to tell me. I feel conflicted about those words. How should I describe it?
Oh, the music!
Surprise, relief, fear, and regret. But this blend of emotions has led me to finally understand some things. I would like to hear your thoughts, too. What do you think of me?
Paimon agrees with everything Risley said. As Chief Justice, every single one of your trials makes an impact on Fontaine. What do you think, Traveler? Hey, any comments?
This is a very difficult question to answer.
Think is
Oh!
every trial you've ever judged has left its impression on you. And that's what makes you who you are today.
As the Hydro Dragon Sovereign, Neuvillette still thinks of himself as an outsider due to his identity. But so much time has passed since then. Perhaps the lines between him and humans have long since blurred.
That is indeed a reasonable assumption. As I said, I find it difficult to express my emotions because I cannot fully understand myself.
You're in a hard position to understand yourself.
But I trust your judgment. Since some time ago, I have begun to notice the changes that have occurred upon my person. These changes were not due to any specific occurrence, but emerged as a result of time itself. I will try to contemplate this further. Thank you both.
Oh!
Huh? It's raining! Oh no! Paimon forgot to bring an umbrella! Come on, let's hurry before it rains harder!
This makes sense. Oh. Oh.
It's raining again.
No.
I've had enough of this weather. There go my travel plans.
No. No. No.
Quick, put away everything on the clothesline.
No wonder he feels like a fucking outsider. Every single time he is sad, everyone hates it.
Hydro Dragon, don't cry!
Ah! 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 I can't, y'all. This hurts, dude. What the? Help.
They're planning to reanimate the monster. We have to report this to the Chief Justice.
The Fortress of Meripede. It's a good place for me.
He's lived for so long.
He owes me so many answers.
Neuvillette? You could say he's the real symbol of Fontaine's justice.
Watch him closely. He could be trouble.
Oh, his life is so hard, dude.
How can two completely different species possibly coexist?
Who's been threatening Melusines? Show yourself!
Oh, he's happy about that.
You will see much in the human world, from the delightful to the depressing. And one day, when you have dwelt among humanity long enough, you will be placed to bring judgment over all as a spokesperson for Fontaine's past. Good morning, Monsieur Neuvillette! The rainy season's almost over! The skies are supposed to clear in a few days!
I hope you find time to enjoy the sunny days ahead.
Oh, I can't. Oh. I have so many thoughts and feelings. I loved the scene. Well, we're about to get into more story, but
is the matter resolved?
like I love the scene where we saw the children of the Hearth talking to Arlecchino, and Arlecchino being like, "We need to keep an eye on Neuvillette." That was definitely a scene that really, I think, added that extra dimension too of like all that he's gone through. Cause he's often like a target for things, just all the time. He's just trying to live his life, but he has so much responsibility and like, he's just doing his job. He's doing his best, but everyone is always like keeping an eye out for him, and he's like caught in like power struggles a lot. I love the part where it's like he's remembering someone speaking who sounds honestly a lot like Farina, but someone speaking who is telling him to like, based on the past and like while that he's witnessed in the past 400 years, he has to judge Fontaine. And I'm just like, oh. And then they show two very precious people from his past that have been wiped away because of I guess the other people of Fontaine's actions, and I'm just like, oh man. It's hard to pass a verdict. It's hard. It's hard. There's been some real nasties out there. And like the moment where it's raining and everyone's complaining about the rain, that was also a moment where I was like, this is why he feels like an outsider too. Like just everything about his life makes him feel like an outsider. And it's like, that's why. Oh. They wrote him so well. It makes sense. It's all there, baby. Oh my gosh, the layers.
We found the person who sent that threatening letter. Risley said he'd keep a close eye on him, so the Melusines should be safe now.
We need so many people to let this man know that it's okay. He needs to visit the therapy archon. He needs to go talk to like Nahida, even though I feel like Nahida needs to work through some traumas too on her end. Whew. Whew.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Sorry for dragging you all into this.
There's no need to apologize.
Yeah, you didn't drag us in. We got involved of our own accord.
By the way, where's Kiara?
At the Palais Mermonia. More than 50 people offered to protect
50.
her. Some even hid within the bushes to look
Hello,
out for danger.
CJ. We're finishing up the story. I
was
think we're
worried
near
that
the end.
excessive
It
protection
feels
would make
like
her
it.
feel uneasy. So I asked her to stay inside the Palais. It's very safe in there.
What a relief.
Well, now it looks like the dust has finally settled. To celebrate this joyous occasion, Monsieur Neuvillette, would you be interested in an exclusive interview?
That's not how you celebrate.
I will consider it.
Aw, Neuvillette.
Of course. My schedule is full for the following weeks, but I should be available next month.
Oh, give this man a break.
Come up with questions during the intervening days, and I will answer them to the best of my ability.
Oh, do I want a VC for roles? I absolutely do.
Yes! Thank you so much, Monsieur!
Now, if you'll excuse me, I must head back to the Palais and issue a communique to publicize our investigation result. I hope it will assuage the concerns of all.
That's good. I specifically want to see what Navia's up to.
Oh, an exclusive interview! Am I dreaming? What should I ask him?
Don't let anything hold you back. Make the most of this opportunity and ask away.
Aww.
He'll decline any question he can't answer anyway, so you might as well give all of them a shot.
Oh, Chlorine, that's such a nice advice. Ah, oh my gosh. The girls are hanging out. I love it. I love it. I love it when they do that in these regions. I love it when the characters interact with each other. It's just like in Sumeru with like, you know, Sino, Dinari, Kave, Alhaitam, the four of them just talking. Yeah! Neuvillette just made her year in like 10 seconds. Oh, incredible. Incredible. Oh, we're coming to the end. I enjoyed this. I enjoyed this character quest so much. Oh, hello, Kiara. We learned so much about Neuvillette.
Kiara?
Monsieur Neuvillette? Sorry, I accidentally fell asleep.
It's quite all right. I'm here to tell you that we have caught the sender of that threatening letter. You're safe now.
Thank you, Monsieur. And thank you too, Traveler and Big Sis Paimon. Everyone's been so nice to me, so I've always felt really safe.
She was not worried for a second. Did you see her? She was sleeping.
Do you remember Domenico? He was the sender of that letter.
Let me think. By the way, I saw Carol in my dreams just now.
No, Kiara, help, no. It immediately starts raining again.
In my dream, she looked really happy. She held my hand and said, Kiara, our dreams have finally come true. I can't remember what our dreams were anymore, and I don't know why. But I felt really happy too.
I can sense your joy. It is indeed a delightful moment.
Their dreams have come true.
Monsieur Neuvillette, are you happy too? Oh, I almost forgot. Am I allowed to go out now? I promised to model for Alov.
Of course. Off you.
See you next time, Monsieur Traveler and Big Sis Paimon.
See you next time.
It's nighttime. The lights have turned on. Oh, it's over. Neuvillette! No, I don't want to leave. Obtain the reply note? Away for personal reasons, we'll be back in a day. Personal reasons? Oh me, oh my! Has our Chief Justice finally come to his senses? If I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. You should follow my example and go out more often. You need to get to know your people better. Farina. Even if something unfortunate happens, you'll still run into lots of unique characters along the way. What do you think? The human world isn't too bad now, is it? Farina, you are so goofy. You are so fun. I love that Farina cares too about Neuvillette. They all care about each other. Also, CJ, I know that feeling. I started stream and I was like, oh no, they're doing they're doing file things, they're downloading things. I'm gonna be here for a bit.
I really can't fathom what goes on in her head sometimes.
Why is Neuvillette so agitated? I think I probably know why. He's probably like, you're being so not serious about everything. Wait! It's rolling time! Oh my gosh, I'm just gonna beg in front of him. I'm going to stand right here. Neuvillette, please join me. Please join me, Neuvillette. Please join me, Neuvillette. Okay. Alright, we're gonna get ready for some rolls. Yes, VC time. And thus concludes our story for Neuvillette. I enjoyed that so much. I loved it. That was maybe one of my more favorite character stories I've witnessed in Genshin. That was great. That was great. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. All right. Well, let's get to rolls.